Hey, it's John and Rachel. We're so glad to be back here at the Demolition Derby Expo. I keep saying that John wanted a demo derby. He's not really getting in a car, even though he wants to. We're here for the expo because we were here last year, and John had so much fun. Not that I didn't, but John loved it so much that this is a part two. That's what I'm calling it.
Right, and this year I'm going to get a hookup for a car. But we are behind the scenes at the Derby Expo, and as you know, we always start the podcast with Get Your Attention with a local musician, right?
Yeah. And listen, I know so many musicians. I didn't know this guy, but I read his stuff, and I was so intrigued because he's performed with a lot of the people my dad's performed with. So I thought it was kind of cool. Like, we had that connection immediately. So kudos to Tracy yet again for a good musician. So we have Russ.
And Bob, one of our upcoming guests, has told us that Russ learned to play the bass left-handed just to be in a Beatles band.
Oh, Russ.
How about that? What?
We're not interviewing him yet, though, so just hold on.
All right, here we go. All right, so
TMI
Russ,
for the beginning.
Russ, before you start, does everybody find you online somewhere?
Yeah, just mostly on Facebook. Yeah, Russ Saylor music page.
All right,
enough.
we ready to do this?
Don't be nervous, Russ.
No, I'm not nervous.
That was a joke.
Little rockabilly. Put on your dancing shoes, baby, if we're going out tonight. Put on your dancing kicks, baby, 'cause we're gonna rock it right. Put on your ruby lips, baby, in case I'm going to kiss them once or twice. Well, I'll pick you up at 7 in my 88, dancing till 11. Tell your mama not to wait, 'cause that's your dancing shoes, baby, 'cause we're going out tonight. Put on those ruby lips, baby, in case I want to kiss them once or twice.
That was perfect.
All right.
I love it. It was
right,
little
Russ.
rockabilly just to start your day.
I love that.
Just to start your day.
Oh, I love that.
it.
All
I
right,
love
Russ,
it.
you get to take a break and go look around at some cars you want to smash, and then we're going to get started with the podcast.
But we're not providing any tools for that.
Right.
All right. Ready? Rorick Honda is known as #1 for so many reasons, but the Civic, the Passport, and the Odyssey won Best for Residual Value in 2022. Everyone has their Honda preference, so make time for a Rorick Honda rep to learn which ride best suits your journey. John, as always,
go to Rorick.com for all of your vehicle needs, and if your Honda ends up at 200,000 miles, you know where to bring it to
Oh my
John
God.
so he could go on the Demolition Derby.
who says that?
So this is the Jagoff podcast. We appreciate you listening. If you're listening for the very first time, we just ask you that you subscribe, because we're all about things going on in not just Pittsburgh, but Western Pennsylvania.
That's what I was just saying to Jason, who sort of is like the know-all, be-all here. We want to be in other counties. Like, we love Allegheny County, but we want to be able to find out unique jobs, unique people, unique living in counties beyond our own. We will drive. I won't, but I will go along for the ride with John. So it's all good. It's all good.
Right.
What was on the blog this week?
So what was on the blog this week is useless stoplights is my biggest passion. We go through the town of Coriopolis at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the red lights are activating. Like, why am I sitting here waiting for a minute for a red light
Is
to
that
turn
a question?
green?
Because you have road rage.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Because you're an angry
Why?
person.
It's useless.
In a car.
So please feel free to email us, me, John at Jagoff.com, if you know of a useless red light intersection.
Okay, don't do it. And then also, what was it? Red light twofer. What happened there? 'Cause
Yeah.
you wrote them
so
all. I feel like I'm useless on
Yin's
this one.
Lids gave us a
yeah,
video.
Yeah. Oh my
Yin's
gosh, yeah,
Lids
don't
gave
out
us
them.
They have dashboard video of a bus, a professional driver, running a red light left-hand turn, and a car behind it taking the twofer on the red light left-hand turn.
Twofer, yeah.
Almost caused a
That's
crash
such a
on the
Pittsburgh
video.
word. And then
Yeah.
inappropriate parking drives John nuts. Like, listen, he wants you to submit this because he hates whenever people park in handicapped areas, which I do too. But whenever you're over the line or you're like supposed to be perpendicular and you're not, is it perpendicular? Parallel.
Parallel.
Wrong P. Drives him nuts.
Yeah.
So that was on the blog. As always, make sure you are listening to us on Y108, 100.7 Star, 2 different times, every day for Talk of the Town. Say it right.
Right.
Tan. And then Alista, actually, we pull up the parking chair to tell you all the amazing events like this one to go in Western Pennsylvania. And Y108, it's Jagoff of the Week. We figure out which of the ones we read to you really redeem the quality of worst Jagoff or
Right.
biggest Jagoff.
Well done. Well done.
Thanks.
So we are
here we are.
here, as we said, at the Derby. We have a number of guests, including, we're up in Mercer County, but of course we found Pittsburghers up here making an impact on the Demolition Derby world. And then we have this awesome golf promotion that we're doing for up here in Mercer County. We're going to talk about what is Mulligan Monday in Mercer County. And then on top of that, Mulligan Monday Bob hooked us up with Russ, who we're going to hear as our musician this
6
week.
degrees. It's not just Pittsburgh, right?
But we have to thank Jason Sauer because he coordinates
He's
this
a local
entire
legend.
dance.
Yeah, I feel so proud to know him. It's pretty cool. I can't wait to hear his story because he's like a remote gallery now.
Yeah.
Like he's a revolving. I don't know what you want to call it, remote or revolving. But so here's the cool part. I recognized the gentleman to your right.
Yeah.
I had to do this little thing because you had him. I actually got to break into the conversation last year, but it was good to see that he grew a little bit and he's still here, which means the interest is he's still here. But he isn't just here for a little bit of interest. He may or may not have built the vehicle over there. And this guy makes me feel at home because he's from Garfield. So we feel like we're still in Pittsburgh. So it's Ty, right? Because I said Ty and they were like TY.
Either or.
Okay.
It's your preference.
Okay, thanks. I like Ty because I feel like TY is like, I don't know. I've never heard those two initials together, those two letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
I want to know this. How? Oh, you have to lift up, hon. I want to know this. How?
We were telling him to get close. Rachel
I'm
just
like,
grabs his hand and shoves a
And
mic
I
in his
hun
nose.
them. I can't help it. I'm like a mom. I'm not like a mom. I am. So I want to know, to me, it is so peculiar that here we are in Mercer County, which is habitually known for country woods, things like this. Pittsburgh doesn't have derby type things. How did you get into that from a Garfield guy?
Me and Jason.
Really?
Yeah, through our friendship.
So you met him during like gallery days, that kind of thing?
Not even.
No.
I met him randomly walking to get coffee in the morning.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
He
Okay.
asked me to help him with some work, and I said yeah, and it led to everything else.
Were you doing some type of work like that ahead of time or no?
What, Derby?
Yes.
Oh, no,
Nothing.
never before.
What were you doing?
Just freelance. I do everything.
Okay.
Everything else but this. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say this, how did you partake in this vehicle?
I'm a driver. That's it.
You're a driver.
I'm a driver. He's the builder.
He's the builder. I know. I want to get to
He's a
that.
guy named Camo who painted it.
Amazing.
Boom Concepts sponsoring us, so yeah.
So you decide you're going to be a driver. Did they have to talk you into it?
No, not at all.
my God.
I drove.
I must be one of a kind because I have no interest in driving one of these. But go ahead.
No, you get curious. The more you see it, the more you get curious. And I got to drive last year, and I had fun, so I'm ready to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes it fun? Is it the exhilaration? Is it the fear? Is it the what
I think
could
it's
happen?
All of that.
Yeah.
The unknown. I don't know. It's just different. It's
Yeah.
something different than I'm used to. So
it starts with driving, and then you kind of figure it has to look good, right?
Right.
So do you help in the artistic portion of it as well? Like you say, hey, I'm looking at this, that kind of thing?
I just, Project 53rd is just my name. That's
Gotcha.
That's and that's just an ode to Garfield, basically. So
I love it.
I gave suggestions of the name, and he did his thing.
I love it.
So
Go ahead. I'm
here's-
sorry, I
here's
just
my question is,
monopolized.
living in the city, actually, you live in the city as well, right? You
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from,
okay.
yeah.
But living in the city, does that help you build experience for the Demolition Derby? Just like trying to, when
Because
you're
he's an
trying to
angry
parallel
driver, so
park-
that's what he's getting
I
at.
mean, come on.
I guess in a way, in a way, I can see that. I never put the two together, but you
Oh,
know,
please.
I
Don't
never
give him the
put-
credit for that.
I never put the two together, but it might
Listen,
be. It
he
might.
was saying he's a freelancer, and he and Jason just met like
Yeah, I
serendipitously.
love that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love, and so Jason, all of the stuff he does, how could he not be an
Right.
inspiration to you, right? Yeah. All right, so we are to you because you were on our podcast last year. You look exactly the same, only about a foot taller. Right. So tell us, you're a driver in the Derby, and how did you get started in the Derby?
My dad's always been in Derby, and so I've got really, it's always been in my blood, and I've been really close to it. And Casey and Chance Smith and everybody at Smith Metalworks, they really brought me in and getting stuff to know stuff like what to do and a lot more stuff like that.
So when I was asking him about, the city driving and experience, you're like, no, interstate driving, right? Is that
Well, he talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That's
Yeah.
how I remember.
Yeah.
Ride shotgun in the car, just like, oh, move out of my way. Let's go.
But wait, Jake, are you old enough to drive?
No.
I didn't think so. Still, right?
Yep, ride shotgun, just sitting, get out of my way.
My gosh. So tell us again, and I know we talked a little bit about this last year, but remember I was late, so I want to get the full story. What made you get into it? Is it sort of just born because this area is kind of known for that, right?
And to my beliefs, as of like Stoneboro, PA, it's where the baddest derby drivers come from.
Okay.
Western PA has some of the worst tracks to go on, because if you go there, it is an all-out brawl. And so from Stoneboro, we have one of the best tracks in the world to be at, most challenging. You show up there, you better hope you got your panties in a bunch, because it's going to be there.
Wow.
See, this makes me want to do it even more.
Like,
Oh, yeah. You're ready. I'm telling you, Sauer needs to get you hooked up.
Listen, so, listen, I was going to do it. I swore to those guys that I was going to do it last year, but my daughter decided to have a baby that day. So
He became a grandfather, so he couldn't do it.
She
Whatever.
made me swear
Excuses.
that I would not do it. Right? So I do have some legitimate excuse. So let's talk about technique when you're driving. Like, is it better, when I'm on the bumper cars, which I'm sure is very similar at Kennywood, I turn the wheel and I back into people because it seems to be more fun than to surprise me. What are techniques when you're driving in a derby?
Especially at our track, we like to stay like straight across. Say the track's this way, like a big rectangle this way, you want to stay this way. Keep your wheels from people, like if you're this way, people got more of an angle to get to your wheels. You need wheels on your car to win a derby. It helps a lot. So
that's the Achilles heel of taking somebody out is the wheel.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a big steering.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
So you want to keep your car, you want to stay right in the middle and stay away from the walls, because I've drove on walls myself, so I can't be one to talk. But you're supposed to stay in the middle, stay off the walls. Use the back end as much. Back end's the business end. The front's the party end.
It's like a mullet.
Yep.
It's the mullet. Party in the business in the front, party in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad I could equate to that. Ty's like, yeah, it's a mullet.
Right.
Now, did they tell you all of that when you started driving? Like, did you get some kind of crash course?
I mean,
Is that
He sees
so
one of the,
I drove once and I just wanted to crash, so I didn't have much technique. So this time I'm going through the motions of strategy and, the technical stuff.
So what is like one pointer that you remember?
The back end.
The back end. So that's why you were concurring.
Right.
Yep.
The mullet
sure.
theory.
That's the business end.
And I love that he's like, you're 15?
14.
Oh my gosh. And he knows more about this than I do. Like, not that I know anything, but as far
How
as it's
do
concerned.
you practice, right? Either one of you can answer the question. How do you practice? Because, obviously you're smashing up a car the entire time, but do you go out and drive around in mud with no cars? How does that work?
Casey Smith, he's kind of like my neighbor. He's like right down the road from me. He built a track in his backyard, and it's for the youth program that he does, that people come in there and they enjoy time, and it's like a 4-day it's like a summer resort. But it's right down the road from me, so I go there and like we can drive around and put tires up and stuff like that.
Okay.
That is so awesome. It's a summer resort.
So you put tires up to wreck into.
That and the drive around, like go in reverse to try to spin around them and
All
stuff like that to prepare like for people hitting you and getting in and out of cars.
It's so crazy.
You're so happy.
I want to do this. I think I might want to do this more than I want to jump out of an airplane.
Not me. I'll take pictures. They keep telling you that.
Next podcast.
I keep telling you that. What's the part that you're not looking forward to? Is there a part you're not looking forward to, or you're good?
I don't think so. I'd be a little nervous before, but once it started, I'd be relaxed. That's with everything. So I'm good. I don't know.
What's the pregame ritual? Do you eat a certain food? Do you not eat? What's the pregame? Or have a couple of something drinkies?
He's just
I
ready.
just go. Yeah. I only been in one, so I don't know. Maybe I gain one later, but
That's a good
not now.
That just means you have to come back. Jake, I'm going to throw a couple trivias because, listen, I didn't know if there was such a thing, but why is it called a demolition derby? Do you know?
Because a lot of people, when they think of like derbies, they're thinking horse races. But in my head, when I hear demolition derby, demolition, you're running into something.
Yep.
And then derbying, I don't know where they came up with derbying, but I like them together.
Okay. So you don't wear like fancy hats?
No.
There's no mint juleps.
We're not out here whipping a horse to go.
Right. Well, that was super close because I looked it up and it said they created the concept for demolition derbies at New York State's Islip Speedway in 1958 after realizing that many people liked wrecking cars. So there you go, Ty. You're right. You got it.
I got a
That
lot of
is
anger,
awesome.
Ty. I want to. If I saw you, I know we're friends right now. But if I saw you on the course, I would aim my butt in at you.
like
business end.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that.
Business
Vice
end.
versa. It's supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be like
I want
that.
you to flip over.
It's like boxing.
Okay.
If you don't like getting punched in the face, don't go out there.
I got you.
That's why I'm not playing the game. Seriously, stay in your lane. I have no problem with that. All right, you guys, where does everybody follow you? Where can we find more information about what you're doing with your driving and with Boom?
My Instagram is my car, Project 53rd.
Project 53rd?
And that's it for real. That's all.
All right, cool.
You know what I mean?
How about you?
You can find me throughout Smith Meadow Works and Most Wanted Fine Art, but my Instagram is Jake Berkner11.
I love it. And he's 14, so you better be nice to him.
Right.
Or you'll have the wrath of me.
Whatever.
Girls, listen, we could
Girls.
be a hookup for you too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, our intern's on here.
All right.
All right, so question of the day. What is your favorite? This sort of like, you kind of were infringing on my question of the day, but I'll let you do it. Favorite meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or no, just snacking? We always do like just off the path.
I like to eat, so I don't know.
You don't have a favorite?
Nah, I don't think I got
So
a
snack
favorite.
all day?
No, I eat. I like the meals. I want to eat food, but I don't got a favorite.
All right, just eat. All right, fair enough. Jake?
Mine's definitely breakfast. I'm
Breakfast?
a breakfast person.
Okay. What time do you get up?
6.
Oh, wow. For school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Fair
for a
enough.
regular day. I'm usually up
Fair
to
enough.
6.
Used to
Really?
it, right?
For working and stuff?
Yep.
Oh, my God. Your parents have to be so proud. I'm proud you're not even mine. Thank you guys so much for
Guys,
coming
you're
on. It's
awesome.
always
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Appreciate y'all.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Well, we're gonna
Look
come
how hot
smash.
your eyes
I
are.
know we're gonna come smash.
I'm not.
Smash.
I'll just take the pictures, but I don't mind.
All right.
I think
All right.
you seem like you want to get in one.
I don't. I have no
Come
Come
desire.
on, tell her. Tell her, right?
Because if you do it, he does.
No, he
Or,
would
well,
do it
he's
without
doing
me,
it
don't
anyway. He's
worry.
doing it
Yeah.
anyway.
He'll
But
do
it'd
it
be
without
more
me.
fun so he could hit you
I'm doing
with the
it
business end.
Because if my daughter has another baby, I'll be so angry again. I'm
Oh, my
like,
God.
hey,
Who even-
no.
I'm Durban.
I'm doing it
Just
right.
because you think about it, don't speak it. You gonna speak
Oh
it.
yeah. Good point. Good
See?
point. Thanks, guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, cool.
That
How
was
about
awesome.
that? Who knew
Yeah.
Garfield?
Yeah. Well, who knew? Right. That's
All
what
right.
I said. Like, how does someone from Garfield?
Yeah.
But he got hooked up with Jason, so
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
And that's Jason's.
Listen, I know you were messing around with that. He said he was getting coffee and literally like bumped into Jason.
That's wild.
So cool. So cool.
All right.
Oh, yeah, if you want to. Oh, wow. Jason's just moving the set around. I mean, he is like the resident gallery guy,
Right.
so if that's what he wants to do, we have to let him.
Welcome, Jason Sauer, who is our hookup. He's like our. He's our Tinder hookup for Derby podcast, right?
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna line up.
I'm more
all
grinder,
these
but
people.
whatever. Sorry, that
Do you
was
find
ugly.
his analysis
And
odd? I
so
do.
Jason from Most Wanted Fine Art, you hooked us up 2 years in a row with really good podcast guests, and so here we are again. We're up here in Mercer County, and who knew that such a city guy would have such an influence? And Bill is here, so introduce us to what Bill does with you guys.
Well, I'm standing next to Bill Lohmberg, producer and creator of Crash Burn Love the movie and Crash Burn Love the book.
How cool is
So
that?
that's super cool. Bill came to me a few years ago, and we were working on expanding on his book. And then COVID hit, and it kind of like stalled. And then he called me out of the blue after he talked to Mike Martini. And so Bill has been instrumental in the last few weeks of my life. Like, he's really kind of turned things upside down, haven't you?
If you say so.
I think
If
so.
you say so.
Like,
Bill, it's sort of easy, like if we compartmentalize, why each of these guys, what made them kind of get into either the driving aspect or the decor aspect or the sculpting. What about you? What is the fascination in general with Derby?
Well, I'm actually a retired history teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in Demolition Derby in its historical context. So I'm trying to put together a documentary that looks at it from all different angles.
Sure.
And so we have something for the future. Demolition Derby may not be around
Right.
with the advent of self-driving electric vehicles. And in a couple generations, most people in our society might not even know how to drive a car. So what does that say about motorsports?
Such a good point. Yeah.
So I really think what I'm doing is more about asking questions instead of trying to make a statement.
That's such a good point. I don't, because it didn't click for me. Like even when we were talking off air and you were saying that you were a teacher, a history teacher, that does make sense because you look back and I guess we just always assumed people would drive.
Right.
Wow, that's a great point.
Bill,
Look, you learned something.
this is
I'm
the
happy now.
greatest part of our podcast in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
that's really it. That's so
Right.
awesome.
Glad to hear
So,
it.
Bill, have you traveled around the country doing derby stuff or just stayed locally and did your research here?
Well, I began to work on my book, Crash Burn Love. Began to work on Crash Burn Love, the book, back in 1995.
Okay.
So really, it's been about 30 years that I've been photographing, studying, writing, researching, and trying to make some sense out of it all.
Wow, that's crazy. So is this like this is your week to kind of hang out, look around, and like, okay, yeah, it's still going strong for right now, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting because the book came out in 2005, and then I was away from it for a while, and so now it's interesting to see how things have changed in the intervening 15 years.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
it's
I was
changed
just
a lot.
I was going to say, I hate negativity, and our podcast, as I said, is so softball, but I did read that some people say, is this as a sport dying somewhat? So are you sort of here to advocate that it's not? I mean, look around this place and see that there are so many people who still have such a passion for it. Is that
Yeah,
part of it, the
it's-
advocacy?
It's definitely picked up in recent years, especially with the advent of social media and the
Sure.
internet, and it's expanding now. We have several nationwide broadcasting systems. Trackshot
Right.
does it, and Derby TV, and there'll probably be more in the future. So it seems to be that it's definitely on the rise.
So it's like anything, right? It takes dips and it's valleys and peaks, just like any other sport or trending
Sure.
something. Yeah.
And this coming season, I think it's going to make even more of a resurgence because for 2 years, the audiences haven't been able to come out and
person, yeah.
celebrate in person.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
a
think
good
it's going to
point.
take a big surge. I mean, this event we're at here today, Casey predicted there might be as many as 2,500 plus visitors,
Wow.
and people are eager to get out and connect with something that they enjoy.
That's a good point.
Jason, it's so amazing, first of all, that I don't know if you're a suck-up or just a really good dude because the word Jagoff is sewn onto your vest that you have right now. So we love,
do I have? I'm representing.
we love that.
So,
um,
right? Well, I
let-
mean, John Chamberlain, come on now.
let's go backward because if people didn't hear last year's podcast, you got into this through art, and now you travel the country, not necessarily driving, but your projects are the cars once you get on site. Describe how that works.
Promoters hire Trackshot Live, and when they bring us out there, if the promoter requests me to be there, I will spray paint cars in the parking lot before the event starts. Then once the national anthem starts, then I put on a headset and call the event. But I spend a lot of time in small America listening and painting tributes to people and their loved ones. So I get to be an extension of the last little bit of idea before they send their car out there to be smashed. And it feels like an art opening for me because I get to see all my paint jobs get smashed, and it really makes me feel good. It really takes away the,
the smile.
preciousness from
Could I,
me.
could I intervene here
You
with a
can
question
interject
since I
anytime.
was a former teacher and that
Do it.
just comes naturally? What do you think is all about those tributes? Because I noticed that on everything from T-shirts to cars to people's toolboxes, that seems to be a really important aspect of Demolition Derby, memorializing lost loved ones.
Yep.
Yes.
And I don't know of any other kind of public sport that does that. You don't see that on people's football helmets or on their baseball bats, but it seems to have a place in Demolition Derby. Do you have any ideas on why that is?
Having
Bill,
been-
we're going to have to time your question. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
If you ask a better
No,
question
yeah,
than
it
the
was a
host,
great
we
question.
time you.
It just comes natural.
No, that was
Sorry.
great.
What I've noticed from the last 7 years of spray painting these cars is the difference with Demolition Derby is the love for family is expressed a little bit differently. So in a way, I feel more like a tattoo artist where I'm giving you the car that, Aunt so-and-so died of cancer, and we want to write F cancer on that car. You know what I mean? So there's a statement to be made, and the family is how you build Demolition Derby cars. Everyone's in the garage, so they want to shout out. Like, so I painted Linda in South Carolina, and like the young men was brought to tears because I had painted his mom, who just passed away, name on the car.
That's a great-
So I feel
yeah.
I hold that responsibility that I have to help transition this mechanical
It's a
sport.
connection. That's a great
Well,
point,
and
Bill.
if you
yeah.
want to get deeply into symbolism and metaphor here, I don't mean to get too heavy on this
No,
podcast.
no, please.
But that idea of putting the memorial tribute on the car and then smashing it, it's a form of catharsis.
Yeah.
Or if it's a form of release
Yeah.
from that grief, maybe.
Yeah. There you
Maybe
go.
I'm reading too much into it,
Well,
but
No.
that's kind of
Let me
way.
finish that story real quick.
Yeah.
I was done for the day. I put my paints away, but they're like, can you please come paint Linda on the car? Because the car made it into the consolation round, and if maybe I had my mom watching over me, and it worked out for them. They won the consolation round. They came back to a cheering crowd in the parking lot, and they made it to the feature with Linda on the car. And
Wow.
so I get to be a
That's so
part of
cute.
those small moments, and I'm very blessed and thankful that people think they're important.
Wait, listen.
That
You
is
know,
so
if I
awesome.
got into a demolition derby, I know I wouldn't win, right? So I would probably have an ex-wife name painted on the car because that would be cathartic, and I would put it on the
I hope
business
his
end.
kids listen to this episode.
That's the car right behind us has it on the front bumper.
Are you serious?
I would put it
Yes.
on the business end too, so it gets hit first. I know. So, Jason, I think that's what's super cool about what you bring us to here, and Bill as a teacher, that's really cool. In that, you know, the world is changing so quickly. There are teachers and there are high school counselors that don't know the things are going to happen in 5 years. We don't really know how best to prepare. But Jason's clearly in a job, and a very happy job, doing something that who would ever thought, right? So we have to kind of pay attention. And I love the fact that, Jason, that you're a mentor to our first two guests, because they would not know anything about this from all of the traditional educational processes without meeting you for coffee, as we heard.
Right.
So I think it's super cool that and then for Bill, for you to come and document this. I love it where you call it a subculture, right? It is a subculture, and it's so amazing. When you watch it on YouTube, you find yourself sitting there watching, I want to watch one more. You
Right.
know, it's so crazy. You become addicted to it. Were you like that, Bill, when you sort of, are you addicted to it in a fan kind of way, or are you addicted more into
I feel like he's more
documenting history?
inquisitive. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm addicted to it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm more of an observer
Okay.
Yeah.
than anything, because, you know, if you're real familiar with this, once you've seen 10,000 crashes, I don't want to stereotype anything, but they all get to look kind of the same.
Okay,
It's
all
this
right.
crunching metal. It's more the human element behind it,
I
the
see.
stories. You know, it's all about storytelling and story recording that means something for the future.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, I love that. Jeez.
Pretty
I
cool.
mean, I just dig it
Pretty
all.
cool.
I dig it all, Jason.
And I
You
love
turned
the
us
fact
on
that
to
it's
this.
not something, and again, not to stereotype, but a teacher, you know, like, okay, so you've taught your whole life, and everybody has hobbies, but it wasn't one of your hobbies. And to think that you had that inquisitive thought that kind of rolled into this, I think that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. Well, you love it.
I do love it, because we were talking about like going on tour and being like co-artists, where we're showing the book and I'm showing a sculpture, and like this is before all the cameras came about. We really wanted to kind of just tell Demolition Derby at like kind of the academic level, like this is a folk art that really is a fine art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah.
Talk
And-
about your fine art, because I think you're selling some of them bees.
Thank
I
you.
didn't say, John.
I was very blessed to sell 2 sculptures to my friend Julie today. So it's
Congratulations.
So we are 2 for 2 at selling sculptures
Nice.
at a Demolition Derby
I
Expo.
love it. Maybe we're good luck charms.
That's it. I think the whole thing. But
I
yeah,
think
you guys
so.
really bring
It's
the
the
great
vibe.
energy.
the
You
vibe,
do. You,
yeah.
People know that you're coming. They do know. I see it posted on the
Oh,
internet.
you're
They're
kind,
pumped
you're
about
kind.
you guys.
And they ran.
No, please.
You're like, what the hell is that?
No, what they're
No.
gonna do is try to put you in a derby car and try to run against you. You know this is happening.
You know,
Oh,
I just
please
wanna,
stop talking
I
about
wanna
it. Oh
do
my God, it's so
I might
annoying.
want to do it, like I said, I might want to do it more than I want to jump out of an airplane at this point. I really do.
Does
wanna do
anyone
it.
care what
But-
I want to do? This isn't it.
Yeah,
How about that?
we're going.
What? Come
Jason,
No,
September
Jason,
10th.
I'll take pictures.
You know what
September
we're doing?
10th.
You know what Rachel wants to do? We're going to make candles in 3 weeks. Okay.
Who doesn't want to make candles?
Right?
I mean,
Right?
really, Jason,
Okay,
he
let's make
was
some
just-
candles. I'm okay with that, right?
Right. And I'm fine. I appreciate the art. That has nothing to do with it. I just have a fear
Yeah.
of being in a car that smashes. I don't know. Call me crazy.
I got a good transition for you then. So on September 10th, whenever you're ready to drive this derby car, you can drive the car through the inspection station so you can feel it, make sure it wasn't cheated.
September
And then
10th.
you can get out and you can get in and put the helmet on. So
September
you take
10th.
it through the inspection.
See, he
feel
does this
what
on
it feels
purpose
like.
while we're recording so that I can't say no.
I
'Cause
mean,
then I
you're
look
not going to
like
smash
a
the
bitch.
car. You're just going to be in the car driving it and waving
Sure.
to people.
Sure. Oh, I'm not that bad. You didn't call me a Karen. Because
No.
I am not. That I don't mind doing. I mean, I just like to be supportive, but not
Nice.
hit.
Right.
Well, I think that's a good compromise. You
I
can
think
drive
it's a
it
good
through.
compromise,
You drive
yeah.
it through tech, and you drive it in the derby.
Let
Yeah.
me at it. All right.
Tell us before we let you go, how can people who don't know as much about the culture support it? Like, how do you kind of gain more fans or more inquisitive folks like myself and Bill?
Well, for our part, we're trying to produce a document that's going to transcend just the audience of Demolition Derby.
Okay.
I have interviews scheduled with some very well-known celebrities. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention their names on
I say
the
do
air.
it, right?
Here, here.
Right, Jason?
Well,
Yeah,
please,
okay,
yeah,
let's
come on.
start with, you know who John Waters is?
Yes.
Yes.
Hairspray?
Yes.
He's actually a Demolition Derby fan and a fan of my work. About 5 years ago, he invited me to be in an exhibit he was curating, and I had never, I mean, I was a big fan of his for 30 years, but I didn't know of his interest in what I was doing. So the gallery tracked me down out of the blue, and I had some photographs in this exhibit. It was called Catastrophe. And there was 8 artists. 4 of them were from Europe, 4 were from North America. And at the end of the exhibit, he bought 2 of my pieces, and he didn't buy anybody else's
Oh,
work.
wow.
Congratulations.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be interviewing him next month down in Baltimore, and he's going to have some very interesting things to say about this.
That's
So
now how could we have access to that interview? Are you doing it, or it's part of?
Yeah, it's part of our
Gotcha.
documentary.
Okay. So you have to get
And,
the documentary.
So that's the kind of thing, I mean, when we're
Yeah.
trying to transcend, because if we get the audience that we hope for this, it's going to go, it's more about it's about more than crashing cars. It's got a
Yes.
big social context and a historical context.
Yes.
So hopefully that's going to let a lot of people know about it that were never interested of it,
Sure.
in the past.
Sure.
Nice.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
all right. So, Bill, where do they, before we do the question of the day, where do they find out more about your work?
Well, right now, anybody that is interested can follow us on Instagram. It's just Crash Burn Love Productions on Instagram. We should have a YouTube channel up by the midsummer.
Okay.
And I do need to stress that if people follow us on social media, that is not the project itself. That's
Okay,
just
right.
a behind-the-scenes
Okay.
look at things, because some of that stuff's going to be shot on a phone and whatnot.
Got it.
But you see the size of these cameras
Yeah.
that we have here today. That's a whole
He's
different
like, John,
dim-
they're so much better than yours.
it's a different, not to brag, but it's a different,
That ain't no iPhone
His
8.
camera's better than your.
different dimension altogether.
No,
So
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for asking. We hope that
Oh, are
people
you
are
kidding?
interested
We're
and
so
follow
interested.
along.
This is
And
great.
Jason, they find you at Most Wanted Fine Art.
MostWantedFineArt.com. We have a new website out right now. Go to hit the navigation tab, hit the buy stuff tab, and support us and support what we're doing with these Demolition Derby cars. We have a fiscal sponsor, so if you feel like what TY is doing and what I'm doing for Inner City Garfield is something you want to help and believe in, I have bigger projects. I have a garage in North Carolina that I want to take these young men to and get them out of town and build cars. So if there's any
I love that.
philanthropists who are following your show, know that it's going to a good spot and I can give you a decent tax.
We need to get some
That's a
media
great
on
thing.
that.
Yeah,
We need to get some
yeah,
media on
let's
that.
work
All
on
right,
that.
cool.
Before
Question
I
of
ask the
day.
question of the day, now I want to
Oh.
ask Jason this because I did a couple trivia type things, and I didn't want to put Jake knows everything, so most commonly used vehicles in a demolition derby, and apparently there are 3 different that they give reference to. Do you know? Can you name one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Or all 3. Or all 3. Okay.
Do I want to name all 3? No,
Yeah. If
I
you
don't
can,
know.
you do all 3.
I feel, it depends if we're talking about compact cars, so it doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
All right, well, then I'll name 3 cars, and we'll
All
see
right,
what
I'm ready.
We'll go with a Ford Crown Vic.
Yep.
We're going to do the Chrysler Imperial,
Yep.
And because I can't guess the other one, we'll go with Toyota Camry. A Toyota.
Really?
Toyota
Oh, yeah,
Camry.
Toyota. You can guess.
A Chevy wagon from the 70s.
That's a good one, but it's not. Chevy Impala
There it
was an alternate, but Buick Regal is the top three.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
dispute that one,
Right.
Oh,
but
I like the
we'll
Crown
give it
Vic,
to you.
said
That's
no.
a cop car right
Yes,
there,
the,
right? Yeah,
the
yeah.
ubiquitous taxi
Yeah.
is
Oh, that's
a
funny.
very tough car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was interesting, though. I thought that
Yeah,
was
that
kind
was
of cool
totally
to know
cool.
that.
That's good
All right,
work, Chris.
question of the day. We always want to go off topic because you talk all about your stuff. So,
right.
favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or are you just like, nope, I'm going to snack all day? TY is like, I just love to eat. He could not answer, like,
Right.
what is favorite? What's yours?
It's going to be the dinner that my wife makes.
Oh, that was
she-
smart. That was
Right?
really smart, yeah. He's like, I just scored points. How about you, Bill?
Well, I'm all veg, so I follow a plant-based diet, so anything that grows.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, Bill.
All right.
You make us all look bad. You're
I
like
know.
this
He has
teacher.
really-
You have great thoughts.
He
You're a
has
good
lowered
eater.
himself to come on our podcast. Clearly, right?
He has a better camera
Bill,
than John.
Honestly, this was a blast having this kind
same.
of information.
I
I
agree.
can't even tell you how much I appreciate
Yeah.
you doing it.
It's
I
all
really
actually a lie. I
appreciate
went
it.
to acting school.
Oh, what's
No.
that?
It's not true.
No,
That's
we're
not
really
true.
lucky
He
to have
said
Bill.
it's a lie.
I said it's all a lie. I went to acting school, but that's
heard
not
you,
that's
Bill.
not
I
true.
knew you were
That's a
kidding.
lie.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much. And
Thank
Jason,
you
thanks
for
again for
coming out
hooking us
here.
up here.
I see you got some Jagoff stickers. Make sure they make their way to the sculpture. Any car that has a hood besides the 49,
Sweet.
you can put a sticker
Oh, and
on
go
it.
look at the bumper of this car.
Oh, yeah. All right. I will. I will.
That's
Pretty
fun.
I love
funny.
it.
Good
I
job,
love
it.
guys.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, so
Thank
we're going
you.
to change gears
Thank
a
you,
little
guys.
bit, and even though we're still talking to all the Demolition Derby folks, we're actually bringing Bob on from Spring Valley
Thank
Golf
you.
Course because we always like to talk to the natives. When we're in a different area, we like to know, like, what are they doing and what makes this town tick? And so Bob drew the shortest straw because we knew similar people, so we made him come on.
I'm a little bit scared too, to be honest.
Don't
Here,
be
get real
scared.
close. There you go.
Scared
Yeah,
of
yeah.
what?
I'm a little bit scared.
Be scared of a Demolition Derby. Don't be scared of us.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't know.
I say.
Right.
I grew up with this kind of stuff. This is how I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever do anything like this?
No, but my great uncle owned Sharon Speedway, which is just 20 or 30 minutes from here.
Okay.
For oval dirt track racing, then you went to blacktop, then back to dirt track. It's huge now. So
Sure.
sprint cars, all that stuff.
So you know
I
it.
grew up, I grew
You're
up
no
with this my whole
stranger.
life, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So you are here because you're actually right down the road
Yeah,
from where
just
we are.
5 minutes.
And Spring Valley Golf Club, and you guys are going to do something kind of Jagoffery in the month of April and May because you're a destination place. People could come and stay in kind of like your cabin-like areas, and then they can golf and they can look at wildlife. But more importantly, at some point during May, they can come and take a picture with a Jagoff golf cart.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So we're doing Mulligan Mondays, the month of May. I advertise it. You can sign up for it in April.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
April.
right.
And then we're going to make a Jagoff golf cart. And I think everybody can vote on how they want us to decorate it.
You got it all under control. John, he has it perfected. I mean, we literally told him one time and he was able to rattle all
Yeah,
that
see,
off.
they know I'm nervous, guys.
Here's
so
what
that's
I
why
love.
They're
Mulligan
giving me a
Mon-
break.
No. What we always like, what it makes me think of is, do you remember the Eaton Park commercial? Whenever it was like, follow the berry, and it was like, in the merry, merry month of May. Now it's like, in the Mulligan month of May.
In
Get it?
Mercer.
In
On
Mercer.
Mondays.
On Mondays.
On
I mean,
Mondays.
it doesn't get
Mulligan
any.
Monday month in May in Mercer.
Yes, look at us.
Look at
a little
you.
alliteration, yeah. So tell us a little bit about, because we in all, full disclosure, we did just meet you in the last couple weeks because of this project, and we've always had a fascination with Mercer because we've done some things up here, and we think that it's so historical, there's so much longevity, but we don't know a ton about golf courses. So tell us a little bit, what story I want you to tell. How did you come into your golf course?
My dad always wanted to build one.
And that's
story?
it, yes.
Yeah, my dad was a builder all his life. He owned other businesses, big campgrounds, and always wanted to build a golf course. So we found the land, and we started educating ourselves in the ability and how to do it.
Yeah.
And we built a golf course.
And
That
so-
was 30. We started in
91?
90. No, we opened in 91. May of 90. We started building. We opened our first line in 91 and second line in 92.
How about that?
Yeah,
And what I thought was
cool.
cool is your sister actually was telling me the story a little bit more, and she said you guys would go to the library to literally research.
Oh, yeah, you
like,
had to.
We didn't have internet then.
Yeah, no,
so
no.
You,
Yeah.
you
Didn't
know,
have cell phones when we
figure it
first
out.
started, or
yeah.
they were just coming out, big bag phones.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like I said, my dad was always a builder, so we kept reading about how to build a green. That's the most important part, most expensive part, obviously. And basically, it's a big sand mound. Well, we built hundreds and hundreds of sand mounds.
Yeah.
So then at least we had an idea of what we were doing, and then you created a brain trust too. We had a guy that worked for turf companies that sold equipment, chemicals, and all that. We had a couple retired golf course owners. A friend of mine was a pro, and then we'd have ideas, and we'd get them all together, or individually, actually.
Sure.
And then if they all 5 said, yeah, we loved it, well, then we went with it.
Sure.
If 2 out of the 5 said, no, it was terrible, well, why did those 2 feel that way? And that's how we did a lot of work. But
I love it's again relationships, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust
Oh,
and
without-
loyalty.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
So you can come up here to Mercer County, and you could do it one of 2 ways. You can golf with your spouse at your place, or your spouse or partner can go shopping over at the Grove City Outlets,
Yeah, 10
because
minutes
it's
away.
10 minutes away. And in the meantime, when you go, explain to us, like you did the other day, about when you go through the golf course, there are preserved areas. There's honey, there are plants.
Yeah, well, I like to, when you deal with the outside, it's your life, it's your home. So I always tell people, why would I want to hurt my home? My kids grew up there. My daughter went from the time she was basically a year old. She was there with me all the time. My mom and dad worked there all the time. My sister, my family, my friends. So why would I want to do anything except help the environment grow and be cleaner, safer, a little bit? Now, golf courses for years got a lot of bad raps because we have to use chemicals, which we have to do. We do.
Sure.
We have to keep our bug control, pests out under control, worry about disease, weeds, that kind of stuff. But you just do it in moderation. You don't. It costs a lot of money, so you just don't go out and spread $10,000 of chemicals every week. That's insane. You would never be in business at some point.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, people
The
won't
most
come back.
important part, though, is the environment, wildlife, soil, your water quality, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we really are proud of ourselves and how we handle that.
And you should be. The part that I think is cool too is, John and I try really hard not to focus on COVID, but how do you not, right?
Yeah.
2 years we were kind of down and out. Everybody was reinventing and figuring things out and pivoting, for lack of a better term. So during COVID, people weren't really coming to the golf course as much. So you guys turned.
While we were closed.
Yes.
But then when COVID opened back up,
You were good.
then it was, yeah.
But talk about the
I gotta
lodging.
watch what I say.
No,
I was
you're-
thinking, I was like, well,
You're
wait, don't
fine,
say
though.
that part.
But talk about the lodging. So now you
So
have
yeah,
this
we've
area.
had lodging for I think 13 years now.
Wow.
We sleep 46 people. It's a barn. It's rustic. It's fun. When you come there, we want you to feel like you're at home.
Yeah.
So we started it the first year without much success. We didn't know what we were doing. Didn't advertise a lot. Now we have people coming from Toronto, Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Well, we have to
all
work
over.
on Pittsburgh. Let's be honest,
Pittsburgh,
Bob.
Yeah. People have come to our area from Pittsburgh for so long, though.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we know that area. We've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, we're still relatively new in their eyes, even as a
Sure.
golf course. So that's why we're hooked up with you guys to say, hey, come up to Spring Valley in Mercer, PA. There's a ton of things to do. And
Bob just said
come
we're
on-
hip and happening and young. Did you hear that?
I don't think. Hey, I don't think I said that.
So remind everybody, what we're talking about is the Spring Valley Golf Course in Mercer, and what it is Mulligan Monday. And in April, we'll be showing you ways that you should get to know the course. In May, when you golf at the course on Monday, you get a little bit of a special. You
Right.
don't really get a mulligan, I don't think, Bob, but you get a special. But the cool thing is when you golf on Mulligan Monday, you will be eligible to win a few prizes.
Yeah, we have
including stay
a really
overnight.
cool tailor-made Icy Light golf bag we're going to give away. And then we're also going to give away an overnight stay for 2 people, 18 holes in a cart, and breakfast and dinner. It's probably about $320 value on that part.
I think that's great.
So, and they can use that any time that we have availability.
Yeah.
It's not limited to like Sunday through Thursday.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
the great
As long
part.
as we
yes.
have rooms,
Yeah.
we can come and stay. We don't care.
Right.
I
Nice.
love
That'd be
it.
fun.
I mean, and plus us, we get
All
to.
the-
We're going to take our
Yeah.
team.
And all the Pizza Joe's pizza you can eat at high noon.
Yeah, have lunch.
Okay.
High
Have
noon.
I'll have
lunch
to tell
there.
the guys that own Pizza Joe's to watch this because that's our favorite pizza.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
We know that it happens at noon.
And
right?
it happens at
Yeah,
noon.
he eats lunch every
I eat
day
lunch
at
at noon. Yeah.
I love the things we figure
All right,
out.
so where does everybody find you guys online? What's your website?
GolfSpringValley.com.
Easy enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And
what-
shout out to Linda Joe for
And
obviously.
up to Linda Joe from Higher Images
Yeah.
that hooked us up together.
Yep.
And then all the technology part where how we're linking, I have no idea.
That's okay. We'll get the
That's
Facebook
what
stuff.
that's what these guys do.
right.
I don't
All
do
right.
that
We'll take
stuff,
care
so-
of it. No
Our
worries.
question of the day.
Here's our question of the
I
day.
think
It has-
we already know it.
Well, we do know it, but it has nothing to do with derbying and nothing to do with golf. So
All right.
now you're gonna sweat.
I'm all
What's
right.
your favorite time to eat? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, or no? I'll just snack all day.
No lunch.
12 o'clock.
That's why he said we would know. I love
I
it.
never
Thank
skip
you
lunch.
so much for doing
Yes.
this.
Thank
We
you guys.
appreciate
You're
it.
natural. See?
I'm sweaty. My
You're
face
fine,
is red.
you're fine.
No, it's all right. No, you'll
Yeah.
get over it.
I hope this is a long relationship. We keep doing this all year, guys.
Same.
Well, let's
Yeah,
go
go
smash
golf
some-
there. It's
And
amazing.
I hope to see all the people that are going to watch this and listen to this. Hope we see you in Monday or in May on Mondays for Mulligan
in
Monday.
the Mulligan
And
month
check out
of
our
May,
Jagoff,
in the Mulligan
our Jagoff golf cart.
There you go.
All right, guys,
Thank you so
thanks.
much,
All right,
Bob.
thank you, Bob.
All right.
All right, now we're bringing in Casey Smith,
Good.
and Casey is
Come on in.
Casey is the owner. All right, so we have it here. You guys can take these two mics here. Just give me a couple tests. Just count to 10 if you don't mind. Go ahead, count to 10 in the mic.
1, 2.
Good, I got you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There you go. All right,
Okay.
that one's a little hot. Hold on 1 second now. I remember that voice from last
I'm a little high. I know. I'm about to pick on you. I got something for you already.
So we'll have you just talk, and Colin can pod you down.
Yeah, can you hear me? How do I sound now? Still too loud?
Yeah.
Story of my life.
That's good. All right, cool. So, oh, wait, I just lost me. I lost me
I mean, if-
somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. All right, I hear me. So, actually, you talk again.
Yep, can you hear me now? How do I sound now? A little bit better? I probably broke it. I am the worst
You
luck
did not
here, I'm
break
sure.
it.
I'm very bad luck. How about now? Can you guys hear me a little better now?
I feel like
All
it's
right.
because it's raining. It like casts
yeah.
this like awful
All right,
spell
here we
on
go.
our internet, right? Is
1,
it snowing?
2,
Yeah.
3.
It's
In
cold
April.
out
Welcome
there.
to April, right?
All right.
Oh,
Ready?
right.
Ready.
Talk to me.
No, I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were just.
Listen, I'm sorry. John's the star. Okay,
No,
so
we
if he
were
is ready,
messing
to
around there. I
I'm
wanna
just
make sure you
kidding.
knew.
I'm just kidding. So welcome. Yeah, right. So welcome. We're so happy to have you guys. We always make sure we go to Jason to double check, like, who are we pairing up with? So why are we getting you? You're like the guy. You're the guy that like kind of does this, right?
You're like.
No?
ground-
Are you the great and
ground
powerful
zero.
Oz?
It's ground zero.
You say no.
This
I
guy's
don't
too
know
humble. You
about
got the
that.
wrong guy to be asking
I
those
don't know
questions. Way
about
too
that.
humble.
You are humble.
Yes, he is.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for coming.
What is it about this place? Like, and it was moved from last year, right?
Yes, my other facility down the road.
Yeah. And what was the reason? Was it just that big? And you were? They were saying you were expecting like 2,500 people today. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
And it looks like we're probably approaching. I mean, I don't know. I ain't got a gate count out there.
Sure.
But I mean, it's been busy all day, and we see trucks coming and going, people coming and going, shuttle buses are running all day. So I'd say that we probably, by the end of the day, we probably exceeded that. I
Wow,
would
that's
assume.
wonderful.
Yeah,
So talk to for people who can't see, because we're obviously not taking a camera around to the
Right.
entire expo, but what do you get when you come here? So it's not just fans; it's people who also have an appreciation, like we've been talking about. Myself,
Correct.
Bill, people who don't know about it, spreading awareness.
Correct. We have a lot of people that come here and attend from all different areas. Like, for example, there's a retirement home down the street from our shop, and my wife went there and give them the information. So some of them people have come up and went through, because it's kind of an activity for them to do on the
Right.
weekend,
Right.
within a close range.
Right.
But more so, we've got some public people from, the local area that are like, and their first question is, we had no idea that Demolition Derby was this big.
Yeah. Right.
And
Sure.
it is. It's, last night we had a promoters meeting, and one of the statistics I threw out loosely, not well researched, and some fact checker out there will probably dig into.
I have a fact check to it, but go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
I know your number.
But, quickly I just looked to see how roughly, because Demolition Derby kind of grew at a county fair level.
Right.
So how many county fairs are in the United States? Not counting Canada or, wherever.
Right.
And quite quickly it looked like the number was around 2,000.
Okay.
So if you figure half of those have a Demolition Derby, which that's where Demolition Derbies have pretty much cut their teeth, county fairs.
Okay. Okay.
If half of them have it, that's 1,000 derby or 1,000 fairs that have derbies, and if they have a minimum of 45 cars per weekend, and they have more, that's 45,000 drivers.
That is such a
In the
good
year
formula.
2000, I think it was the Los Angeles Times did a report that they figured 90,000 drivers hit the track each year across America. So actually, your number was pretty. This is an old article.
I
but-
was just being conservative to
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
the promoters
The
a real,
formula,
like,
yes.
hey, look, this is a big pond.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's an interesting pond in that it's not just it. There are CEOs and things that you told us.
Yes,
last
sir.
year, right?
Can I pick on you for a second?
Last
year.
Wait, can we
listen?
introduce him?
Yeah.
We introduced Casey Smith, but we have to introduce.
My name is Josh. My name is Josh Decker,
Right.
and I could.
Track Shot
Yes, sir.
Live.
I'm from
Yes,
Track
we
Shot.
made a
Yeah.
pack last year.
Yes.
And
But listen, go ahead.
All right. So my my first granddaughter her due date was September the 18th.
Okay.
And my daughter made me swear that I wouldn't go do it.
All
and there was
right.
a chance
Josh.
she was not going to be born on that day.
Let me
but
jump
she
in.
was actually born.
Let me
on that
tag.
day.
He was so mad. I'm sorry, Hannah. He was so mad
Okay,
that
good,
the birth
good.
date was going to be around
Okay.
there. Did we not talk about this for a month leading up? I mean, every car conversation
Okay.
was, I might not make the Derby. I'm like,
I was
going to
pick on you, but this is legit. I'll take it for that.
My daughter was like, "You are not doing that."
Okay,
So-
but no grandchildren this
No.
year, correct?
Not that we know of.
But we're hearing September 10th.
Yes.
September 10th
Yes.
is the day,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
Yeah,
so they're going to hold you to this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
on
so-
TV.
yeah,
It's for real.
Jason told us September 10th. Yes.
No, that's so cool. And, I joke about it. Even when we were, previewing this for our podcast for the month, I joke that I'm like, I have no interest. It's not in my bailiwick of things. But it is so interesting to see just how people have an appreciation for it. And it makes people have that appreciation.
Can I jump in that?
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
my dad's not watching, so I can say this. My dad used to say that Demolition Derby drivers are dirtbags and scumbags
Oh,
and
nice.
low class, and we used to go to our county fair, and that's what my dad thought, okay? I love Demolition Derby. Since I was a kid, I've loved this sport. We are not that.
Right.
We are a fantastic family of great people. Casey now, what he has done here,
Yeah.
he's changing Demolition Derby for us because
Aw.
last night we were in a promoters meeting. Promoters go at each other all year long. We are at each other's necks, right? Last night, all of us sat in a room and had such a great conversation for 4 hours about what helps this guy, what's hurting us, how do we make it better, how do we make it safer. That has never happened in our sport.
Okay.
Today, you're watching all these people. Every time we're at a derby, we are competitive. We have a derby today. I'm going to win. I'm in a class. I got to get my car through tech. Not here at all today. Today is about friendships, hanging out, learning new places. I want to go here. I want to learn this. I want to see this. We needed this so bad.
That is such a good point. I'm so glad you said that.
We needed this
and
so
kudos
bad.
To you, Casey, for really,
Well,
and that's what I was saying. You are humble, but you host this for that reason.
Well, there's a lot of things in this sport, like Josh is saying, that people don't see the depth in it, and that's what we're trying to bring out. One thing that I've always done is I've always been a big fan of successful organizations and learning from people who have done great things, no matter what it is.
Right.
And the one thing that you have to do is you have to create in any motorsport. Like if you take, and I always say you look at like Monster Jam or NASCAR or whatever. Every great thing has an infrastructure to it. Okay. And that's
Absolutely.
what creates everything internally to operate and start growing. So that's why we introduced educational seminars. That's why we bring promoters into this. We bring the general public into it. We bring sponsors. We bring series carriers. We bring media outlets such as you guys, such as Josh and Track Shot Live. Because the more people learn about things, the more they can, even if they don't like it, they'll understand it and
Great point.
respect it.
Yes.
Right, I agree. Because I was saying it as a joke, like John always gets his way because he literally loves this. But it is interesting
awesome.
to me. And even though you're not going to get me in the car,
And,
I think it's
and
cool.
Josh brought up a very good point. I was at the promoters meeting last night, and I probably looked like I just come out of the garage because my wife forgot to bring me my change of clothes. So I had on a pair of Hey Dudes and rigid work pants.
Wait a
and
minute.
stocking
Hey
cap.
Dudes are the official shoe of cornhole. Let me just tell you. My husband wears them on.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the official shoes
they're
to
the
wear in
official shoe.
Florida, not Transylvania. 'Cause by the time you get done, your feet's wet.
That's funny.
But anyway, I mean, the point being is I stood there in a group of some of the best showmen
Yes.
in this country that put on the biggest shows.
Right.
And my appearance doesn't matter. Like, had I been at a corporate meeting to
sure.
present something, it would have been like, really? Who's this guy?
Sure.
But it wasn't about me. It was about the group. Okay, so it didn't matter what I showed up, what I did. This was
Yeah.
for them. So,
Right.
and that's how it is in this sport. It's not what you see. sometimes what you see is definitely not what you get at all.
Yeah, absolutely true.
And on top, so all the work that you're doing then gets shown on the final product gets shown on YouTube. And I will tell you that if you get ready to roll your eyes, Rach.
I'm ready.
All right. If you sit on the toilet and pull up Track Shot Live,
Fine with that. I'm fine with that. Do it.
And you pull up the Track Shot Live YouTube,
Please.
your legs are going to go numb because
Okay.
you're going to get so
Sir, thank
I
you.
can't even roll my
For
eyes.
what? Thank you.
listening to you guys talk about these races or derbies. So Track Shot Live is how you guys are exposing it to everybody at this point.
When I was a child and there was cable television, anytime something come on TV, Demolition Derby, I taped it. VCR.
Yes.
If you guys might not remember them, but I used to have a VCR. I'd sit there and wait. I still have them in my room, okay? 30, 40 tapes. But there wasn't enough. I was starved for Demolition Derby as a kid. I'm lucky enough where now I get to bring it to people. I have this jag of me wanting to just show the country free Demolition Derby because it's what hooked me. And these are the kind of things we need, right? We need the things that are free, that get more people watching. And if you're listening right now, we are a community, okay? We are a family. This is part you're going to miss. Today you're going to see it, though, here. We want you part of our family. If you don't feel like you're a part of any family, if you don't know what family you're part of, if you don't know what you maybe need to do in your future, it's Demolition Derby. We're looking for you. We want you. We want you as part of our family. Come into it. Watch Track Shot Live. Get hooked to it. Come to our derbies and come be part of our family.
Wow. I don't know if I'm going to the Marines or the Derby. I'm in.
Come on, please. We need more of you. We need more people.
That is so cool.
No, that's so cool.
No,
All right.
kudos to you guys.
So, Casey, what kind of should we be promoting your other work that you're doing?
Yep.
What do they learn
I'm glad
about
you said that, yeah.
what you guys do here at
Smith Metalworks?
Yeah, Smith Metalworks.
Yeah, I mean, what we do at Smith Metalworks is we're primarily a fabrication company, okay? So we do probably 50% of our annual business is in the Demolition Derby world, and the other 50% is outside of that with some other fields. So it keeps us busy. We've created jobs. We've grown. Last year in the expo on that Saturday, I'd got the phone call that this place, the family had accepted the offer to sell it, so we bought it. And a year later, we're standing in it doing this, made it bigger. I'm planning on moving our fabrication into this facility out of our other facility that we share with our parent company, and we're going to create more jobs in Mercer County, and that's our plan. I mean, a lot of people want to get out of bed and have that big fat bank book. I got enough to make sure that I'm paying the employees, and we could add employees.
Yeah.
Because I believe in this country and that industry is so important to every community.
That's
and
so awesome.
a lot of people don't realize it.
Yeah.
They get caught up in whatever they do. But today, being a skilled tradesman, working with your hands, being a machinist, being a welder, you can get paid for it. You can get paid well. And it is what built this country, and it's what will save this country. Make no mistake. And
No
if you
question.
think it's,
Absolutely
if you think it's going to be saved by a bunch of people outside of that, so I'll say, it ain't going to happen.
Absolutely right.
Because
wow.
it's true. When you see industry leave a community, you see what happens to the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. No, I agree.
Casey Smith for president.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Well, I've been told they want me to be Derby president.
You're
There
in.
you go.
You've been voted in.
Start there.
And Josh, tell us about your partners and where do we find Track Shot
Yes,
Live?
thank you guys. Track Shot Live, we are free on YouTube. We travel all over the country. California, Washington, Maine, all over the country, free on YouTube. Track Shot Live. We're on Facebook also. Find us on there, but follow us throughout the country. I bet I'm going to show you some Demolition Derby that you've never seen before.
And one thing I'd like to add with Track Shot Live is if you want to get exposed to a lot of people in a lot of places across this nation, you get a hold of Josh Decker and Track Shot Live.
Please.
And they will put you in front of a lot of people that you never got to be in front of before.
And if I could jump on that,
Remember when we had a podcast, John?
our sport, I'm sorry.
Totally kidding.
Our sport only has so many drivers. It's been the same drivers for 40 years. We are focused on getting new drivers. That's why I love what Casey's doing, because there's new people,
Is that
young
why
kids.
you want John?
Yes, John. No, I'm serious, because when John's
Yeah.
hooked and he tells his friends, and then your friends come and their
Yes.
friends come,
Oh, yeah.
this is how we grow.
We have
This is how we.
we have two different, I'd say two different mountains. He's on one with what he does, and then I go after the youth.
Yeah.
We are a very strong leader as far as developing
Well, Jake
youth in this
adores
sport.
you. Yeah.
So,
I mean, he called your place a
because
resort.
not only is the
That's a
yeah,
fact.
I don't know about that. You asked
He
my
did.
That's a
I
fact.
swear, he did. He did.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
But the youth is the future of this sport for drivers. The youth
Yeah.
is the future of our country and our
Yeah.
communities. So anybody that doesn't help promote youth in any aspect of our country,
Yeah.
you're really not investing in the future for
Yeah.
anybody.
Agree.
No matter
Great
what.
point.
Agree.
And that's, we look at Jason Sauer, entertaining somebody in a coffee shop, down there in the city.
Yep.
And, who would have thought that he would be pulling people in just from a coffee shop conversation because of
Oh,
what
yeah.
he does. So
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Before we let them go and before we do the question of the day, I have one question. I've been trying to stump, but you guys know this trivia way too much. All right. So, what car is still currently banned in
This
most?
is too easy. Come on, way harder question. That's like 1972s. Come on, get way harder.
Wrong year. Wrong year. Oh wow.
Well, 1967 through 1973, Chrysler Imperials would be banned most places. Nowadays, some places are banning Cadillacs and 03 to Newers.
All right. So it's great talking to them today. I thought that was interesting. I was like, look
It
at
is.
that.
Imperials have been banned forever. Very few parts of the country still allow them. If you come to the Northeast, we still allow them. We love them. We're Imperial lovers up there. But
How about that?
much of the country cannot run them. To be honest, it shouldn't really be a thing. Imperials can be beat by any car out there. It's something that caught on, I think, in the 80s, and it kind of rolled through the 90s, but I think it's
God,
kind of
love
gone.
the 80s.
I think it's
Who was
gone.
the first
in
driver
my
ever?
opinion, it's gone.
First driver ever. Well, I could go for a long time, but Larry Mendelson in 1958 at Islip Speedway was the first promoter ever to put on a demolition derby, pay a payout, and invite drivers.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
There were demolition derbies before this, but they did not pay out money.
Oh, okay.
Don Basil was the first one to ever put on demolition derbies in Oregon. He did them on a racetrack, but he cut his car sections out so when they would hit, they would crumble. But that's not a true demolition derby because there was no payout and drivers didn't bring their own cars.
John, remind me not to try to stump them.
Rage.
No,
You
give me.
should
You're
rage.
gonna have to do some real
Should
Google.
ask
You
us
tried
what
to
is the
stump the
most
experts.
underrated car in demolition
Oh,
derby?
okay. Let me know that. What is it?
What is it?
Dodge Diplomat.
Really? I didn't even know it existed.
I would go with you on that. I would
Okay.
agree with that. I
Most
would agree with that.
underrated car.
I would agree with that. See,
Fun
that was a
fact.
good
Full
one.
size.
I love
Yep.
it.
Yep.
All right, you guys,
All right.
where does everybody find you? Did you ask him?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay,
So
I
you got
thought
question
we
of the
asked
day.
him. I don't remember
Yeah,
hearing.
oh.
You can find us at www.smithmetalworks.info. You can find us on Facebook at Smith Metalworks.
Perfect.
And
All right.
And obviously, we're following.
And
him.
all you Jagoffs are going to come to our derbies, right? All of you listening are going to start coming to demolition
Yes,
derbies.
We're going to come on the 10th for sure. All right, so this has nothing to do with demolition derbying. It has nothing to do with Smith Metalworks. It has to do with eating. What is your favorite meal? Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Or no, I'll just snack all day.
All of them.
I feel,
Or any.
okay, check the boxes.
I'm an Italian kid. I'm going to go dinner.
All
Dinner
right,
is,
there
got to
you
have a
go.
good dinner.
Spaghetti Sunday. I love
Dang
it.
right.
Thank you
All
guys
right.
so
All
much.
right, dude, thanks so much. It
Awesome.
was awesome.
Thanks for having
All
us.
right, coming up, we're going to talk to our Russ.
Or Russ.
Yeah, coming up, we're going to talk to Russ, our musician. Hello. Russ,
Hello.
we've been hanging out. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah. Oh, and it's great to see you. I'm definitely. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
So next year I'm going to bust your balls.
Oh no, I'll be there. I plan on being there. All right, Russ, come on in here. Take this one if you don't mind. All right, Russ, we've been hearing your music all podcast long. And so first of all, you made the trip over here to Mercer County, which
So
is
far.
about 15 minutes, you said, right?
Oh, yeah, it was a rough trip. Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. We've been hearing your music. Tell us a little bit about your music background, and I will tease everybody that we said earlier in the podcast that we found out from Bob, the golf guy, that you actually learned how to play a bass left-handed so you could be in a Beatles tribute band. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. I've been with them for 15 years now, yeah. We're called Beatlemania Magic, and we play the Pittsburgh area quite often.
I know.
Yeah.
What is the fascination? I'm going to tell you. Okay, like one time I said I don't love Permanis. I'm now going to break it to you. I wore a T-shirt once that said, I the Beatles, like a heart with an X through it, because I don't love the Beatles.
Angry she is, Russ.
I don't, and I feel like I'm
wow.
in this weird league of my own because everybody loves the Beatles. What's the fascination?
I just think it was the perfect timing. Elvis was in the army
Yeah.
and everything when that all changed and they just needed something and
they were it.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were
it.
it.
Yeah.
And they just had the chemistry.
What about musically? Are you a fan musically? Like, do they have that ooh factor?
Yeah, but I was a huge Elvis fan.
Okay.
Huge Elvis fan and a big Beach Boys fan. So I
is
love
John.
the Beach Boys. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. He just wanted to get
There
that
you go.
in
He's
there.
going on the road with me then, man.
He just wanted you to know he could do it, Russ.
Oh, does
Is
it?
that 4? Is that 4? Is that 2? I
Yeah,
don't know.
right. Where do you perform typically? Because obviously we know that musicians really, talk about peaks and valleys. Unfortunately, COVID, made it really difficult. The entertainment business, people kept talking about, not that it wasn't important, but grocery stores and this and this and this, hospitals, of course. But what about the entertainment? Because that's where we all went to kind of feel better. So how are things now?
Well, things are incredible now, but it's completely switched over. It used to be when, show my age, back in the 80s, when I had long hair and wore spandex and all that, and played in those bands, you could play 5 nights a week. There were clubs everywhere. You could always go hear a band. And things after COVID now, that's kind of shut down. And now since COVID, things are picking up, but it's picking up for solo artists. All the wineries and all the breweries and all the restaurants and clubs and solo artists, the acoustic thing, and you can't go find a band anymore. It's hard to find a band.
Yeah.
So that's really changed everything.
Good
In
point.
our area anyway, it has a lot.
Yeah. Oh no, Pittsburgh too. We get a lot of our local musicians who say, they had to pivot and they had to figure it out. So hopefully you were good enough to kind of withstand on your own.
Yeah. So when you're not doing music, are you doing anything like Demolition Derbying? What are your hobbies at this point? Or has Demolition Derby now become your hobby of choice after walking around here?
No, I'm on the opposite. I don't Demolition Derby. I like to rebuild. I'm actually currently working on a 72 Volkswagen bus.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's always been my dream, to have a hippie bus. So I'm working on that, restoring it. Yeah.
And if someone smashed it, you'd be like, we're fighting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as you seem to do different genres of music. We talked about the Beatles. We talked about oldies. What do you like current day music? Like, I could ask you what your favorite genre is, but some other podcast would ask you that. So I'm going to ask you, what do you actually like out of the current day music?
I very seldom listen to a lot of current music.
Okay.
Everything that I do is 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Okay.
And even in my writing is so they call dated, because I write music. When I write a song, I write it for an artist. Like the one I'm going to do later for you, I wrote for Buddy Holly in his style for him, for his. Wow. I got one that I wrote for Neil Diamond style, Barry Manilow. I pick an artist and I kind of write in that.
Okay.
So it kind of cheats myself. I don't have my own style. But I write for them.
But those are people who you emulate, so there's nothing wrong with that.
But
I think that's a great point.
if the song that you played prior to our podcast going live was it like a rockabilly? It was like a Stray Cats kind of song,
I'm a big Brian Setzer fan. Yeah.
That's the 80s.
Yeah.
He cuts it off at the 80s. I'm with you. I'm with you. That's my cutoff, and I was born right before there. So there you go. You're not dated. You know what you like.
It's.
You
It isn't that it isn't that there isn't great music out there. It's just that. I don't know. That's where I decided to say, okay, I gotta cut it off somewhere, because I just can't learn everything for everything.
Right. That's a great point. Yeah, awesome point. Russ, where does everybody find you? Are you in the Pittsburgh area much?
Only when I'm with the Beatles band, usually.
Okay.
Usually I try to stay within an hour of my home base, which is Mercer County. I stay right around here, but I play Youngstown, Warren, Mercer, Grove City, all the areas around here.
Okay.
A lot of.
Put you on the spot.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
golf over
Yeah.
at
He's
Spring
performed
Valley?
there.
Yeah, I performed
Not
there
that he
at Spring
performed
Valley.
it, but I
Yeah.
didn't know if you golfed there.
Yeah.
And you're going to get in on Mulligan Mondays,
I know.
right? So.
Oh,
all
so
right.
I missed the Frankie Valley. Jan and Dean, oh my gosh.
I was in the Jan and Dean fan club, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And
all
I
right.
got the
Jan and Dean were compared to the Beach Boys at one point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know if you knew.
Dead Man's Curve.
Dead Man's Curve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, like we said, so Frankie Valli and Lou Christie, our favorite. Shout out to Lou Christie because I really need to get him to my dad's museum. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Russ, we have a question of the day, but where does everybody find you? Are you on social media?
Just on Facebook mostly,
Okay.
yeah.
At Russ
and,
Saylor?
And it's Russ Saylor
Okay.
music page.
All
and
right.
Saylor is Saylor.
I was just
There you
about
go.
to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
All
Russ.
right. Question of the day. What is your favorite meal? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, or I'll pass, I'll just snack all day?
I think I'd have to go with lunch.
You're the only one who said lunch.
Yeah?
What would you
Because
say?
my lunch is, I'll have like something small for breakfast, but then my lunch is my meal, and
That's
then I
it.
won't eat again the rest of the day.
Gotcha.
Okay.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would
We're
you
kind
say?
of like that. Dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Italian whatsoever, but I'm into the whole Italian thing of big dinner that
Oh, okay.
Rachel's mom cooks every
There you
Sunday.
go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. So we get to hear you play again. If you want to get ready while
Yep.
we say our goodbyes, thank you.
In the meantime, we're going to thank everybody.
Yeah.
And we're going to thank everybody. I'm going to go to this mic.
Okay.
So thank you to, first of all, thank you to Jason Sauer for pulling this all together.
He's such
We
a good
really
dude.
appreciate
And I love the fact that even though, like I said, I make light of it because it's not my jam to get in the car, it's such a great event. It's so well put together. And what a community of people who want to do it.
Yeah, and we thank Josh from Trackshot Live for jumping in. Thanks to Casey Smith from Smith Metalworks. Thanks to Bill Lohmberg, who might have been one of the more intelligent people we've had on our podcast since Cyril Wecht.
That's a really good point.
I mean,
yeah.
I think so.
Do you feel smarter?
I do feel smarter. And thanks to Bob Mills. And
Yep.
make sure you go golf on Mulligan Mondays.
And thanks to our guys who actually build the vehicles.
Right, Jake and T.Y.
and T.Y. or Ty.
Right.
We're going to call him Ty. He's shout out to Garfield because we were feeling a little more at home with some Pittsburgh
Right.
here. And thanks obviously to Russ for coming and
And thanks
performing.
to Rorik.com. Rorik Honda is known as #1 for so many reasons, but the Civic Passport and Odyssey won best for residual value in 2022. Not something you want to hear at the Demolition Derby
I know.
Expo. But everyone has their Honda preference, so make time for a Rorik Honda rep to learn which ride best suits your journey.
As always, visit Rorik.com for all of your vehicle needs. And now we exit the show with our new friend, Russ Saylor.
Wow. This is out bad. This is really out of tune.
Oh, yeah, you want to take a minute?
Because I think when we moved it, yeah.
Oh, do you want to take a minute?
Yeah.
Thank God he realized. See, this is when we say it's behind the scenes of the podcast. This is the kind of stuff you don't see. You're good? All right, here we go.
Sorry about that. This is my Buddy Holly one. So. Every day I think about you. Every night I dream about you, baby. I guess it's true. Well, when you told me about your new love, and it wasn't me you think of, baby, I guess it's true. I guess it's true. You really do not love me anymore. I guess it's true. I saw you with him at the record store. Every day I think about you. Every night I dream about you, baby. I guess it's true. I guess it's true.
Boom! Nice. Thanks,
I
everybody.
was channeling my inner Buddy Holly in case you didn't know.